Shalom and welcome to this special teaching. I'm Pastor Matt McEwen from Yeshivat Shuvu and kosherpastor.com. This weekend marks a very somber and sober day in Jewish history. There is a remembrance that happens this weekend known as Tisha B'Av, or in English, the 9th of the month of Av. The reason that this is a solemn occasion, in fact, it's a fast day. It's a day to afflict ourselves because of what happened on this day. The reason it's such a big deal is because of how many bad things have befallen the Jewish people on the exact same date. It's hard to believe, but it's actually true. And it all started with a bad decision on the part of the children of Israel, and it has led to destructive things happening on this date for generations. Back in the wilderness, God was prepared to allow the children of Israel to take the promised land, a land that they did not cultivate, but a land that was ready to be moved into. All they had to do was to possess that land and to go to battle with the peoples that lived there. God allowed the people to send 12 spies or scouts to scope out the promised land so that he could be proven right, that God could be proven true and faithful. So he allowed the spies to go into the land. And although they brought back some of the fruit, a cluster of grapes that it took 2 men to carry, although they brought back good reports, the Bible says that the spies said, "This land is truly a land of milk and honey." But they stopped short of going into the land because they were afraid of the people they saw. They saw people that were larger than them. Giants were in the land. And the children of Israel had a chill of fear down the back of their spines, and 10 out of these 12 spies voted not to go in and take the promised land as God had commanded. The date that this happened was on the 9th of Av, and ever since then, awful things have happened throughout Jewish history as this day has been cursed by God. The first and second temples, Solomon's temple and the rebuilt temple by King Herod, were both destroyed on this fateful day. And so we mourn for the destruction of the Holy Temple, and we long for its rebuilding. Because as the Bible says in the prophets, the temple will be rebuilt. And the temple service, the sacrificial system, will actually be reinstated as the Messiah sits on the throne of his father David in Jerusalem, as he comes in glory this time, and not as a suffering servant. It's my prayer that as you observe this solemn day, that you do so with hope in the back of your mind. Because although we are without a temple right now, the prophets say that the Messiah will come, the temple will be rebuilt, and we'll be able to worship the Lord the way that he always commanded us to worship him. Our services will no longer be incomplete. You see, today in synagogues, we can only do the prayers associated with the temple service. There are certain things that we just cannot do because the temple does not stand today. But the Bible says the temple will be rebuilt. When Messiah comes and he sits on the throne of his father David, there will be joy. It will be a righteous kingdom full of justice and mercy. I'm Pastor Matt McEwen with Yeshivat Shuvu and kosherpastor.com. I wish you an easy fast for Tisha B'Av, and please mark this day with a sober reminder that although the destruction has happened, we have a hope that the King is coming. Thank you, Shalom, and Kol Tuv.